Hey everybody, it is Wednesday afternoon. Oh look, it's Jammy Wednesday for Randy. He still hasn't gotten out of his jammies.
I see no reason to rush.
So let's start out with some victories. Christy, do you have any victories to share with us?
I cycled once this week.
Yay, that's always a victory. And out of curiosity, what do you use your cycling money for?
To buy more product.
Okay, so free food, which is always good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Amen.
Julie, what kind of victories do you have?
I cycled.
Yes, you have another victory that I know of.
I do. I had two people enroll. So that
Woohoo!
yeah.
Both of them yesterday.
One yesterday, one the day before.
Okay.
One Sunday, one Tuesday.
Okay, so let's talk about one of them because I want to instill some hope in some people because I know a little bit about the story with this one girl.
Uh-huh.
How long have you been working with this mutual friend that we have, and how many events has she attended before actually enrolling?
I would say probably been working with her for at least a year, back and forth. And she's probably been to 3 events, I would say, because she attended one at your house, one at my house. She's probably done a couple online. So, yeah.
And I'll back that truck up. So she's more of a friend of yours. I would call her an acquaintance of mine. I don't know her well. But I had run into her at an expo a year ago, February, and I started messaging and sending her information a year ago, February. So we'll call it 2 years that this girl has been in the works.
Wow.
And obviously kind of tag teaming. But, that whole concept of stay consistent, never lose hope. Because, I know for a while there when I'd ask you about updates on her, you're like, yeah, she's never going to join. And lo and behold, here she is.
Well, what I remember saying to you is she's not ready. I know she's not ready.
That is true.
That's what it was. But this time around, she was ready. And so
Awesome.
She's just doing a whole lifestyle thing for herself and her husband. So yeah. For sure.
And that's a really good point. And I've heard Cindy talk about this, that it's kind of every 3 months, people's circumstances change. Whether it's they've lost a job, need more money, got fat, had a bad medical report, whatever it is. So you're right. She wasn't ready. And so that whole mindset that I think people get so wrapped up in, that I want to ditch the mindset of I'm bugging people or I hate to contact them again. One, life is busy. I mean, if people were trying to get a hold of me 2 weeks ago when we were stripping wallpaper, I was in the groove and getting that damn wallpaper off the board. I was not taking any phone calls because I needed to get that done in 2 days. You don't know what people have going on. And then, of course, whoever was calling during those days, if they didn't leave me a message, which there was 2 or 3 that didn't, I completely forgot they called because I was in the zone, So I think me included, get way wrapped up into, I don't want to nag, I don't want to bug. So I really want to encourage us to change our mindset with that. 3 months have happened. We don't know what's happened behind closed doors in their house. We don't know when they're going to be ready. And until somebody says, no, take me off your list, they're still on. They're a someday, And I'd have to say in the 5 years, I've only probably had 3 hard no's. Like, no, do not ask me again. Otherwise, everybody are like, yeah, check back with me. You never know what's going to change.
Well, and the other thing is to always not necessarily contacting them directly, but always putting stuff out there so they're seeing it. Whether it's a personal message, whether it's just thought I'd make you aware of this, whether it's posting on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. So that it's always in their mind somewhere, you know what I mean? Because that's what she did, is she saw a post I did, I don't remember, last week. And she said, okay, I'm ready. So you never know what's going to touch them at that time.
Exactly. And that is the most beautiful, like people will say, what is the magic in this business? Consistency is the one word that I always come back to, and it's consistency in following up. It's consistency in posts. It's consistent of being on your own journey and being a product of the product. And not that it has to be a perfect journey. I think authenticity is even more authentic and impressive and relatable to people. So like when Randy had his whole fall season of 3 surgeries and an injury, his hashtag was Randy's ultimate comeback. That how many people can relate needing to have a comeback.
Yeah.
And so things like that I think are really powerful, that we don't like when we're in a bad season. And I'm not saying turn your thread into negativity. I'm saying show the real and raw struggle, but show what you're doing to move forward through the struggle. I think there is a clear difference there.
Right.
And just to kind of piggyback on what you're saying, I had somebody who contacted me out of the blue. I talked with her probably 6 years ago before I had officially stopped Isagenix. She was a second liner on my Tastefully Simple team. And, she wasn't ready, reached out again once I had become a consultant, and she reached out to me Saturday and said, can I come over? Can we talk? And I'm pretty sure she's enrolling this week. And we talked for her. She had a 1 episode, I'll call it, of an MS. This is the second person I've known to have this happen, where they have an episode, but it's never reoccurred since then. So it's not like an ongoing thing. Mm-hmm. And it was like 5 years ago. And so I was really talking to her about Susan Sly and really the difference that inflammation makes, and just speaking her language so that she got it. And so I will be shocked if she doesn't enroll. And she was telling me what triggered her was that she's almost out of whatever shake brand she's buying. And she went to grab it, and she had asked me for some label information. So I sent her the labels, and she started comparing, and she goes, I think I stared at it for 15 seconds before I could tell how much better your shake was better than what I'm currently doing. And so for her, it's just a simple switch of she's switching proteins. And I'm trying to work with her on Isogenesis and Ionix to add into her routine as well, just because of her previous MS segment. And so I knew about the incentive Sunday night, and we had just met Saturday, so I knew she was excited. So I sent her the screenshot. I said, hey, I'm giving you a heads up. This is coming. Let's have you capitalize on this while we can. So I've done 1 follow-up Monday, and I'm going to wait till Friday. And if I haven't heard from her Friday, I'm going to call her again. And she said, I'm getting to the point that I need to reorder. So I'll be shocked if she says no, but that was somebody that, again, has watched me for 6 years, doesn't comment, but been watching, and look, she's out of protein powder and needs to make a switch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So let's talk about the excitement of the next 2 weeks. I would like to hear where you guys are, excitement level, thoughts you have coming on, and what are you doing to be in action and motion to capitalize on Isogenesis coming back, the incentive we have, team coaching, and I think really important, consultant building. So where are you guys on that? I would love to hear thoughts, ideas, actions, struggles. Which one of you guys want to go first? Don't all jump at once.
I'll say I'm excited. I feel like a new boost of energy. Because it's interesting, a few times that I've posted, and I've kind of figured out a new technique with my posting and things like that. More people are seeing my posts, so I feel like I'm getting a lot more energy from that, and then them be like, okay, I want some more information. And so now is the perfect time where I can say, oh, well, now we have this great enrollment deal, and this product is coming back, and so let's get you started here, and then we'll work some stuff in later. So I feel like it's easier to reach out to people because of that. It just gives you more reason.
Do you want to share what your shift is, that you're feeling a different energy with your posting?
Well, I'm posting, one thing I'm doing is I'm posting more personal stuff on my Facebook page. Mm-hmm. And so that is getting people commenting on that. Mm-hmm. So then I throw in an Isagenix post or a nutrition post or a transformation, and people are seeing that.
Yep.
And then So I'm trying to keep that to the Isogenics posts to 1 or 2, so they're not like, okay, not your stuff anymore. And then posting another personal the next day, and then getting a lot of comments on that from different people. And I am tagging Michael in some of them, because I'll say I'm tagging you in this, not the personal post, but like the Isogenics post.
Right.
The personal posts also involve him usually, so I'm tagging him too. So then his friends are also seeing my stuff. So I've actually had a couple of his friends comment on my Isogenics stuff. So then I reach out to them in a message that way too. So I'm building my base that way as well.
It's about time you pick up some of the slack.
I'm trying. So it's just, and then maybe people aren't jumping right away, but then now to have this to say, hey, now would be a good time, and then sharing it in a private message with them that way too. So
out of curiosity, because I am really bad at this, but there are some other people who are really good at it.
mhm.
When you're getting even a personal post comment or the Isogenics where they comment, do you go back and send a message of thank you for commenting on my post and like creating a message around that?
I'm actually doing it on the people who like my post as well, who are not Isogenics people.
Because that is something I forget about and need to get more intentional about, and I've heard great success in that.
But I do it all at one time. I don't wait. I wait a couple days.
Right.
Because then there's going to be a lot, it could add up, because the more people comment, all of a sudden it shows up in their newsfeed 2 or 3 days later.
Yep.
So I wait a couple days and then I go back and I do it. So like my post from Monday, and I'll probably do that today and tomorrow because I'm cleansing, so I need to be busy. So
how much time does that take?
What?
The commenting back, thank you for liking my post. Are you talking 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour?
Well, it depends on how many people have commented or liked, but it's a copy and paste. So I pretty much, unless they said something specific, I pretty much do everybody the same thing. And
so under 30 minutes, that you're not spending hours doing this.
If that, it's like you said, like 15 minutes probably.
Okay. And that's what I want to highlight is I think people get stuck getting ready to get ready instead of moving in action, because they think a simple step like that is going to take hours.
No.
Versus like, okay, I'm doing this and it's taking me 15 minutes.
And you could totally break it up. Like me, like people who comment, I usually say I'm sending you a message. And then I'll do like 3 people at one time, and then I'll go back, because you want to comment on their comments, because then that also boosts the news feed as well.
Right. And by sending a message, you're also increasing that analytic of them, of you two connecting as well.
Exactly. So so like yesterday I did 4 or 5 messages, and then today I'm following up on those 4 or 5 messages that I sent. So, because you don't want to bug them the same day usually.
So here's another question. Since you're so good at Instagram, are you getting more or different feedback of Instagram versus Facebook?
I don't get a lot of comments on Instagram, and it's interesting because theirs is different, where you can actually have pay somebody to automatically like and comment on people's comments and things like that and start following you. Mm-hmm. So it goes up and down. There's no rhyme or reason to it at this point. I mean, those people that have 10,000 followers paid for those followers mostly. Right. Because you look at their Instagram and you're like, I don't get it. I don't, and it always directs you to a website or something like that. So
just curious, because I don't do Instagram well and you do. So I was just kind of curious which one you're getting better reaction from.
Facebook, for sure.
Okay.
But you also look at the demographic of my age. It's not teenagers.
Right. Right.
They're all on Instagram. They don't even use Facebook anymore.
Right.
So it's just a different. Instagram's more of a younger demographic. I still use it because I follow things on Instagram, but that are beneficial for me. But Facebook is more I do way better with Facebook.
Right. Okay.
Responses and things like that.
And the second half of my question, what are you doing as far as using this incentive to try and build consultants over the next couple of weeks?
Well, I've already talked to one of my team members. I really don't have a whole lot of people that, I mean, I make sure they all know about it personally.
Okay.
And I always say, if you've been sharing, now is a good time to follow up on that.
Right.
But I mean, I really only have at this point one.
Are you encouraging them to attend the events, whether it be the virtual event or the face-to-face events coming up?
I do, yeah, for sure.
Okay. Something we're gonna, not we, I've asked Randy because this is his forte, not mine, is I'm having him, and hopefully he's gonna get to it today or tomorrow, to do a video, what we kind of talked about, but I want it to be a tool for us to use with our team, of explaining how holding volume and BV is equal to points that are in a bank and how they can cash in and how that equates to real money. And so again, I'm really bad at explaining that, but he's much better. So he's going to try and do a Zoom video so that we'll have a link to be able to share, that when we have that, I'll send it to you guys. I'll put it on here, but if you even want it, personally, I'll send it to you. And I think that would be a good tool to reach back to your people and say, hey, I just want to again reiterate how important it is to have 100 BV every 30 days and how to cash in on that and what that means in real money. Would you please take the time to watch this training video that Randy made for all of us, and use that as a tool? Because again, let's get popping those consultants, especially with the Forever Pack. And again, you can lead with whatever pack you want, but that's the end goal. Is we are doing great at enrolling personally, but now it's time to step it up and build consultants. And I love that we have this incentive for 2 weeks instead of 1. And I am thrilled that it is a dollar amount versus BV, because then we don't have to explain what BV is. And I think it's very ironic that the dollar amount starts at the Forever Pack number. So to me, that seems very intentional, that let's capitalize that while we have it.
Yeah.
What about you, Christy?
I'm excited that the Isagenesis is coming back, because I've kind of been holding out on posting about the Forever Pack just because wasn't available.
Right.
And I've been kind of feeling defeated lately with Isagenix, because the one person I enrolled, she ended up she was all excited about it, but she ended up returning her pack. And then another person that I enrolled like a year ago just told me that she stopped doing it because she wanted to eat more clean, but then just told me that she's going to start doing another shake company. And so and I was asking her, like, if the shake company addresses stress and toxicity, and she totally changed the subject.
Yeah.
So it kind of gives me like momentum to like keep posting about it to like get more people.
And there's that old phrase, we had this in Taste Was Simple, need to change your team, change your team. And we always know there's going to be attrition, there's going to be dropouts. However, to give you life, Randy's son is the prime example. Is they did Isagenix, left Isagenix to do a competitive shake company, realized how they felt on the competitive shake company. They gained weight on the competitive shake company and did come back a year later. And it's kind of like we've had probably 6 or 7 people stop, forgot how bad they felt, and then came back. And some of them like kept their account where they didn't have to, they just had to, place another order. But in Christy, I was so excited to see Christy Pelkey come back to the team meeting last week, because she shared her testimony. She said, I went through this deep, dark bunny trail of feeling awful and believing the medical doctors and then giving me medicine after medicine after medicine. And I finally ditched all the medicine and came back to the trueness of Isagenix. And oh my gosh, I feel so much better. And she goes, I will never do that again. So sometimes it takes them having to step away and feel really crappy again to then come back. And I've had some people who physically were terminated and came back. So even though we hate to see them go through that, sometimes that does happen, not always. But I'm kind of in your bank too, Christy, because I was trying to work more with rallying consultants, making sure they knew about the Forever Pack, using that as a training ground, that I wasn't personally contacting my people. Randy was contacting his, but I wasn't contacting mine. So I went to the Forever Playbook And last night I pulled out, just so you know which page, I think it's page 26. Not 26. It's before that. Maybe it's page 6. So I went to the Forever Pack. Yeah, it's page 6. And it was the top one where it says prospects who've been on Facebook page for a long time. I pretty much copied and pasted it. There was a couple that have specific health situations and I modified it a little bit. But I said, hey, Angela, I'm so excited about a new way of getting started in our health journey that's super simple, completely affordable, backed by science. If I sent you a video, would you be open to checking it out? If not, no worries. I hope you're enjoying this beautiful spring day. And a lot of them, that one I didn't because I didn't know the person well. But some of these, most of them, I started with the comment of, I know in the past, let me pull one up. I know in the past you've been in the process of exploring Isagenix as a possible fit for you. And then I go into, I'm excited to share a new way of blah, 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 blah. So I sent, by the end of the last night, 55 I addressed it to them, hi Laura, exclamation point, and then copy and pasted the rest of the message. I had 5 people say, send me the link. One person, we were on the phone by 9 o'clock. And again, I went back to my notes. This is somebody I've been talking to for 3 years. I've explained the whole system to her twice. The Forever Pack got her. She's in her, I'll call her late 60s, early 70s. Does not like making breakfast and lunch. Her husband has an illness that's similar to ALS. So he has a hard time swallowing. And she was finally ready. And so I have her paperwork. She's doing 4 shakes and an isogenesis because she decided she didn't want to do just 1 shake a day. So I literally have her paperwork, credit card and everything, just waiting till Friday. But I've gone ahead and scheduled her welcome 3-way call for this Friday at 2. And so again, that was another person for 3 years. I've talked to her on and off and she was ready this time. And she had just said, she came back from the doctor and the doctor said, you need to get some nutrition in you. You're starving yourself. And she goes, I was thinking of you when I saw your post of the 2 shakes. I just hadn't called you yet. I beat her to the punch. So that was, it is one of those, like, don't send out 5. It's going to take some effort. And literally what I did is I pulled out my binder with every single person I've been talking to. And those were my 55 people I sent the message to. Now tonight, because I have Aaron's and dentist appointment this afternoon, I'm not going to have time. But tonight's activity, which is going to kill me because Wednesday is my only TV night I watch, really, because I'm all about the Chicago series, is the one on page 8 about terminated people. And I'm going to borrow that scripting and send it to them. Now, I did just send them, any of the terminated people, an invite to my live tasting for tomorrow via Constant Contact yesterday. So I'll just kind of use that as another tool to follow up. But who knows if I'll get some people who've deactivated to come back, And I may use this same terminology for people who are at 0 BV, that they're not officially terminated, but they're definitely not active. What about you as far as consultant building? Any activity going there, Christy?
Not really.
Okay. And I would say for you specifically, cling tight to Sam right now. Like, see what he needs tool-wise, whether it's, does he have the playbook printed out? Does he know about the incentives? Does he know about the live events? With him working shifts, I get it because Randy had it being a pilot. Mm-hmm. Even if he can't attend the live events or the virtual events, send his people. We will take care of them. And we always close out, get back to the person who invited you. So I want him to realize he doesn't have to be out there all alone, and that, let's make hay when the sun's shining. So let's capitalize on Isagenesis coming back and this incentive.
Okay.
So I think that would be your focus is, really working with Sam. Anything you guys are struggling with? I mean, obviously you were saying, Christy, just kind of feeling that deflated. And just, we all go through that. We all go through the nobody's commenting on my posts, or I'm in an enrollment, spell, or I've had people return. We all go through it. The biggest thing is don't quit. just push through it. And that's where people say, put music on, listen to a podcast, go for a run, whatever's going to get you out of that funk. Do that to then put yourself in motion, go for, and I know for you, you love to run, go for a run and then message a bunch of people, like get your head in the right place kind of thing.
Okay.
Do you have any tips in there, Julie?
No, I agree with that. And the other thing, I don't set business hours for myself because I'm more of a spontaneous kind of person. So when I think of something, I do it at that time instead of saying I'll do it in a little bit, because then you don't do it. So,
and I agree. I do set hours, not
Yeah.
hard hours, but I try and work after my workouts before dinner, and then if I need to after dinner. But I am the same way, and I'll either set an alarm or make notes in my phone, because if, say, I'm working out, and a lot of times I'll listen to podcasts and get a great idea. Had one today. I'm not going to make my post right then and there, because one, I don't have my glasses, so there'd be a ton of typos. And I'm one that I don't write easily, so it takes me a long time to create a post. It doesn't flow naturally for me at all. Randy is the writer of the two of us.
Yeah.
And so if I don't make that note in my phone, or I don't set the alarm, then I don't do it.
Right. Well, yeah. And so for me, not necessarily when I'm working out, because if I do think of it, then I just type notes in my phone and do it later. And again, I can't see it either. I'm the same, but I can decipher it. But I just feel like if I don't do it when I'm thinking about it, like if I want to message somebody or text somebody or follow up with somebody, if I don't do it right then and there, I won't.
Me
So
too.
I feel like I'm more successful if I'm spontaneous versus setting a specific time to do these tasks and things like that. So that's one of my things of advice, is because if you put it off, it's more than likely that you won't do it.
Yeah. Or I'll think of something as I'm brushing my teeth, getting ready for bed, and clearly I'm not going to call somebody at 10:30 at night. So I'll run down and create a Post-it, so that I've clearly, I've had about 4 people not send me their after results for the team weight loss competition. Here we are at the 10th, and I still haven't posted results. Okay, that means they obviously weren't serious enough about it, that they were excited to send me the results. Let's call it the top 3 as they are and end it today and post the results. So I had to make a note, team weight loss results kind of thing.
Mhm.
So yeah, I do that too, just because, sometimes it's not convenient to do it right when you think about it. But the messages and Facebook messages, I'm all about doing it on the fly.
Right.
Okay, so the other thing that you guys probably saw in my Facebook message is that ISA delivery is coming back.
Yes.
So we don't know all the scoop, but what we do know, and I didn't tell people the exact date on my video, but I will tell you all, it is coming back on the 22nd. So literally our incentive ends on the 21st, and ISA delivery is going to start on the 22nd. Yay. And it's a multiple tiered or a new and improved version that John Raines was very vague on Cindy. So he was on Cindy's Team Call Monday telling us the scoop, but it made it sound like it was a 2-tiered thing. Like you could do this or this. And something was in there about free shipping. I don't know if it's indefinitely or every time. And it was something around 300, whether your order is 300 or you pay 300 he was, again, very vague, so I couldn't put it together. But I'm excited that it's coming back. And I actually just had somebody who's newly promoting to consultant to ask if it's coming back for her new person. She was like, before I enroll her, is ISA delivery still around? And I was like, no, but I'm glad that's on the forethought of your mind. So I've already messaged her like, hey, guess what's coming back? You just asked about it last week. Wow. So, yeah, so that we can, and I'm more using it as a teaser now because I want people to take advantage of this incentive first.
Right. Well, yeah, because you can add ISA delivery later, right?
Exactly. From what I'm gathering, yeah. So, yay.
Cool. That'll be nice.
Celebration. Either of you going to Celebration?
I really want to go. I'm really trying.
Okay.
Like I said, the first day of school is the last day of Celebration.
Okay.
So I'm more concerned about how Sophie's going to feel. So I gotta talk to my 10-year-old.
Have you asked her?
I haven't yet, but I will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she
And
didn't care that I wasn't there for her birthday party.
well, and just say, we'll celebrate the day after I get home, or something. And, it's hard. I try so hard not to be insensitive about this, but I think it comes from being a pilot's wife.
Yeah.
We never were able to celebrate on the actual day because of Randy's flying schedule. So whether it's Christmas, anniversaries, birthdays, I'm so used to celebrating on another day.
Right.
Because we never got the real day. But I know other people, it's really important to be home on that day.
Right.
So that has to be your call.
I know.
Yeah. Christy, any possibility?
Not with school starting right then.
I wasn't sure if your mom or sister or somebody would come and stay while you went.
They're all going to be in Ireland because my brother's getting married. So
And you're
I
not
would love to.
Yeah.
No, because all my family's going to be in Ireland, so I have nobody to watch my kids. I was thinking about just ditching Gary, having him stay with the kids and going to Ireland, but
I'd be all about that plan.
Yeah.
yeah, he's not.
Okay.
So no, I wish, but it's
Okay.
just not the time of year.
Keep talking it up with your teams. We need to get, we all know you don't get it till you see it at an event. Plus you're embraced by the culture, and Cindy's having this all team meeting, which is going to be fantastic, or not meeting, party. And then Randy told me last night, I haven't gone back to look at it, so I'm assuming it's on Isagenix events, but NYKO information has now been posted and it will be back in Phoenix again. And my thought is it probably will always be in Phoenix just because you have the availability to visit corporate. But I don't know that for sure. But at least for 2020, we know it's back in Phoenix again. So, start planning for that. And I will log on just to see, because I didn't look to see which dates. And I think this past year, I don't know if it was their date was moved back or Martin Luther King was moved back. But I know it was a different event than normal because people who are teachers aren't usually able to go because it touches Martin Luther King weekend, and they weren't the same weekend this year. So let me see, upcoming ICUs. I don't know where he saw it. I wonder if he got it in an email or something. Isagenix. Yeah, it's not showing me. So I don't know. He saw it somewhere, but I'll have to ask him where he saw it. Maybe he got it in an email or something. So anyway, but look that up or stay tuned, and I'll do a post of where it is, but it is in January and it is in Phoenix. So, and if you can twist Gary's arm to staying home for 2 or 3 days with the kids so you can join us then, it's really nice in warm weather when it's really crappy here. And I personally like NYKO better than Celebration because the intimacy of 7,000 versus 15,000 is definitely a big difference. That, 7,000 is huge coming from the Tastefully Simple world, but 7,000 compared to 15 is a definite feel difference.
Okay.
And obviously talk both events up to your team.
Yeah.
So for the virtual events, Lori Olson and Lisa and Kelly Heimbeck and Dawn Pasanko and I believe Allie Lindstrom want to jump in and do the virtual event with me. So I think that's great. It's a little hard when you have that many leaders trying to collaborate exactly what the event's going to look like. Yeah. So we're still trying to come up with a brainstorming session, and Lori recommended I use her scripting for the event description. So I did do that and change it. So if you look at it, the description is changed. Much more focused on wellness versus weight and non-scale victories versus weight. And my thoughts that I'm going to be presenting to them is I really want all of us between Saturday and Tuesday to be posting our own transformations so that when people are in the event, they've already seen the transformations before the event has started. Mm-hmm. So if you guys wouldn't mind posting yours, that would be great. And obviously now that I would say from like today through Saturday is prime time of inviting people for next Tuesday. And the cool thing with this one is I never put an ending date to the events. And the reason I made you guys co-hosts is I've learned that if you're not a host, like say Christy had a friend and we're not mutual friends on Facebook, then I've got to go back and friend them to add them after the event has happened. But if you're a co-host, you can go back and add them after the event. So when you're doing your follow-up with people and they say, I can't come, I'm not available, it's great to say, go ahead and watch the next couple days. We'll chat afterwards. And then you can add them to the event later. I don't tell them I don't close the event. I just say they have a few days to watch. That way it creates the urgency. But I think we could really blow the virtual event out of the water with attendance, especially with all of us big leaders pulling in our teams. This could be huge, showing that many people on an event.
Okay.
Freezing rain.
Freezing rain. Ew.
Sidewalks are iced over.
Ew. Go away. We don't want to hear that.
It's not doing that at my house.
Okay. Because you're on the other side of town.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you guys wanted to talk about?
Not right now.
Okay.
No.
So I just want to leave with, you guys are doing great. And I love that your action to stay committed to group coaching is fantastic. Your commitment to yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, and leadership wise, keep doing what you're doing. Don't lose faith, because I have a ton of faith in both of you and all of you watching on the recording. So just know that we're never out there alone doing this together. And I think there's so much great things about to happen. John Raines kept saying the next wave is coming. And really the theme for the next year or two is innovation. And he said the innovative products that are coming, hold on to your pants. And
Cool.
so, that is really cool that we're going to be unique with having the science and innovation behind us. So there's going to be your thing of nobody can compete with us, just like nobody can compete with Isogenesis. So keep the faith and give yourself a pat on the back and keep moving forward.
Thanks, Jody.
Thank you.
All right. Stay safe and dry today, friends.
Thanks, you too. Be careful
Okay.
out there.
Bye.
Bye.